I mark up my prices, but I also don't lie about the shit that I'm selling and claim it's something it's not.
They're not lying. It's commercial real estate.
See?
Right, but you're not going to find anything. They're not lying. It's commercial real estate.
Now here's the part that's really fucked up. That was a trace that did not actually have any damage between the diode and the SMC. So what that means is that this board is so far damaged that there are traces inside of the actual motherboard that I can't see that are broken. This is actually where having the money for something like a Nordson 3D X-ray machine would come in handy, because I can use my brain to some extent to give you an idea of where the problem is. So I didn't need to even see that that trace was broken in order to know that it wasn't communicating. Even though I didn't have a short and I had 3.42 volts in the data line by the SMC, I knew to check for it over there because I understood how this circuit worked. But when we start getting into why the machine is brain dead, that's far too open-ended. It's not a very simple this little thing talks to that little thing kind of problem. And a Nordson 3D X-ray machine would actually be able to show me inside of the board what is broken so that I could fix it. So think of it kind of like a Neuralink, and a Nordson 3D X-ray machine. 3D X-ray machine would be kind of like my brain, but on steroids. The problem is that machine's about $120,000, and I have failed so badly in business and in life that I can barely even afford to move into a new store with even floors, to the point where my air conditioner is gonna, there's gonna be an air conditioner that's on a Fox wall that doesn't even, not even there anymore because I suck. If I was a real business owner, like a real business owner, not a fake-ass business owner, I would be able to go, oh, that's something that could help my business? Oh, my business is based on board repair, and that machine would take us to the next level? Let's just grab it. But I'm not. So when people think you deserve to take a vacation, you deserve time off, you earn this, that, and the other, I haven't really earned jack shit. I've actually quite underperformed, given that there are several other companies out there that exist that if they wanted something like that, they just, pick up the phone and have the resources to be able to get it. Because it would be really cool to just put this thing in there and have a known good 820-00426 and this one, and just have it literally pop up and show all the bond wires, and then we could overlay it, see what the differences are between the two, and then just run the single jumper wire that's necessary to make this work again. And there's a lot of jumper wires that you can figure out by using your brain, but there's that last 5 to 10% that you can't do that the machine probably could. Whoa, 5 volts on screen? 5 volts on screen? Fuck Nordson! Ha! Who needs a Neuralink, motherfucker? Oh! Question mark folder. Question mark. Fuck, that is awesome. Suck my dick, Nordson 3D X-ray machine. Man, I actually kind of felt sorry for myself there a little bit. I actually felt a little bit sorry for myself. 11 years in business, and I'm such a fucking fuck-up that I can't buy one fucking tool that would help my business and make life easier for everybody here, take us to the next level, allow us to learn more, allow us to do more educational videos. Because if we could actually figure out the traces, if we could figure out the ones that we're not able to now, we would actually be able to learn something like, oh, when you have this problem, it's that trace. And then we could figure out why, and then we could really reverse engineer around it. But I don't need that, because I got my fucking brain! Yeah! Fuck you, Chase Bank! I don't need your fucking money to open my new store. Suck my dick! Yeah, this is awesome. I don't need no goddamn bank loan. I got a question mark folder. It only took me 4 hours and 47 minutes to fix a computer that's 4 years old. But still, accomplishment! I'm going to look back on this stream, and I'm going to be very aggravated that I ever did it. But there's one other thing I want to check now that I know it works. What is DDR? What is that VTT voltage supposed to be? Is it supposed to be 6 volts? Is the schematic wrong? Let's see. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, can I measure on the top of the board? I got X-ray vision with my fucking eyeballs. That's that. I don't need no X-ray machine. I don't know. That just gave me a jolt. Oh, that feels good. The dopamine rush of figuring out a fucked up board like this. Yeah, what the fuck? It's supposed to be 0.34 volts. Fuck you, Apple! Oh, that is so fucked up. I was chasing that issue for like 30 fucking minutes because of the shitty documentation here. It's 0.34 volts. But when you look on the schematic clearly states on the power aliases page that is supposed to be 0.675 volts. 0.675 volts. And it's 0.35 volts and it works. Why? Why does your documentation have to suck? It's just like these new machines where it says, oh my god, this is annoying. This is so aggravating. It's like when it says 18 volts input where it's supposed to be 12 or 8. This is like where they say ISL 6259 in the new machines when it's supposed to be ISL 9239 or ISL 9240. Like that is... I wasted a half a fucking hour at 2:30 in the morning because of Apple's shit documentation. Why is Right to Repair even argue? Why are we even advocating to get access to these original schematics? They suck. Somebody else should write up a proper one. They don't even know what voltage their own fucking power rails are in this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, this board software is kidding me too. This drunk Paul Daniels software opening up in this funky orientation. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this dumbass shit. This is the board view and schematic for an 820-00239. We still use the ISO 6259. No, you don't. You use ISO 9239. Correct your fucking data sheets. Look at this. Look at this. ISL 6259. You click to the next page. It says ISL 9239. But you click back over there, and it says ISL 6259. But you click here, and it says ISL 9239. But you click there, and it's ISL 9259. But you click here, and it's ISL 9239. Why? You lazy-ass Apple engineers. Document your fucking machines properly so that I can go home in time. That felt good. That felt good, though. I really started feeling sorry for myself. I'm a failed business owner. Can't figure out jack shit. Can't fix the boards. Can't even afford a single fucking machine that would make my life a lot easier after 11 years. Because I suck at business. That much. I don't need your money, Chase Bank. 'Cause I got my brain. That's it for today, everybody. And as always, I hope you learned something. Hey, everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be fixing another MacBook. Here we have an A1398 that says power/display issue. Let's open this thing up and see what's going on with it and see if we can fix it. So when we open it up, it looks like this one is a 2015-16 model with a discrete GPU. That's an 820-00426 motherboard. The number is right over there. If you can't read it, you may want to get your eyes checked because that's clearly visible. And this machine is supposed to be having power issues as well as display issues. So let's see what's going on with the power/display. So I'm going to take my MagSafe connector, as I always do. I'm going to unplug the battery because I want to see how many amps the thing is taking. Just the logic board by itself, not the battery. It looks like we're taking 200 milliamps. That is not enough to get this thing started up. That is not enough to get a quad-core CPU and GPU started up. This thing is starting, but it's most likely brain dead. 200 milliamps is not even close to enough to get going with this machine. So I'm fairly certain that this thing is going to have nothing on the screen, as well as be brain dead. And it says that there's no chime/display. Now, I'm just going to see if we have any volts on the actual display itself. I don't expect a backlight, but let's see if the thing's at least trying to bring an image to the screen, and it's not even trying to do that. So I'm going to take the board out of the case and see what the other side looks like and see if this is something that may be solvable or if this is just a board that goes to Paul. Ka-ching. Here we go. So this machine is brain dead. Now what's causing it to be brain dead? First question we have here. Look at the case. What do you see? The case is actually speaking to you. See that? That's the keyboard backlight. This black layer over here. What is the key? What does that say? What does that say? Does that tell you anything? I would hope that that tells you something. Now, I don't think I have a board view for this one. I don't think anybody's taken part in the reprehensible, immoral activity of emailing an 820-00426 board view to lewis@rossmangroup.com. I don't think anybody's done that, which is a good thing, because if they did, they would be breaking the law and making Tim Cook angry. And if you make Tim Cook angry, I hear that a kitten dies. Every time you help somebody fix a MacBook doing something that Tim Cook would find personally reprehensible, a kitten dies. So I'm going to open up a board view to a similar board of that year, the 820-00163. It's almost the same thing. So this is the closest thing that we've got. So the chip that's corroded is U7400. And U7400 is the 1.35 volt power supply for the RAM. Now keep in mind, this computer is turning on. You see when it turns on that the fans spin, it's taking 200 milliamps, but the reason it's not fully booting is that the RAM power supply is not there. So imagine if you had the RAM plugged into your computer, but you sent no power to it. That's what's happening with this. What's interesting is that it's not beeping, which I wouldn't be expecting. Now we also have corrosion on a bunch of stuff around here. Let's see what this little cluster of stars is for. So on the schematic, this looks like a bunch of pull-up resistors for random things. SPI, SMC, MOSI. So that's BIOS communication with the SMC is corroded. Yeah, so all this stuff is going to have to get... And I don't want to destroy any of those pads. And this is going to smell, though. So I'm probably going to regret what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is I'm turning on the fume extractor, and I'm going to flux it and hot air it. Tasiki, I have not signed off yet, because there's there's a lot of stuff to fix, and B... if I want the new store to be even remotely usable, there's a lot of money to make. I'm excited about moving to this new place, and I'm going to do it whether the money is there right now or not. Because I know in my heart of hearts that we will make it work, and that this company will become a much better company once we're operating in a proper space. So I'm going to stay here until I've fixed every board there is to fix. And once there is nothing left to fix, I'll find more stuff to fix. I'll become an ambulance chaser. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to just flow that into place. Now the reason I'm doing this is I don't want to put this through the ultrasonic, because if I put it through the ultrasonic, that stuff that's barely hanging on may get washed away. And no brain is a really difficult problem to solve, so I want to save and preserve as much as I'm able to save and preserve here. Now it's time to start knocking off junk that looks disgusting, so that we can start soldering on stuff that looks good. It may start up after a reflow, but I don't want to keep this stuff on the board looking like this. I can't reasonably give this back to a customer in this condition. If I were an asshole and this worked after a reflow, you know what I would do if I were an asshole? I would give this back to the customer and say, you got a 90-day warranty on board repair. And then when this piece of shit fails, in 95 days, I would charge them money again. If I were a real asshole, I would do this on eBay. Because on eBay, they can only leave feedback for a certain period of time, and if it fails outside of that, they're actually unable to change their feedback. It's one of the reasons that there's a real large discrepancy in reviews for the reballing services videos for bad GPUs between eBay and places like Yelp or Google. So a lot of those reflow places, it's like 1-star Yelp and Google, but 5-star or 99.999% positive feedback on eBay, because they can't edit the feedback after the piece of shit fails. You know, they're stuck. Alright. So now, I'm hoping that I preserve the pad so I'm not ripping any when I do my cleaning. I'm going to go through this nice and easy. We're going to do this very methodically so that this is as good as it was when it was new, if not better, as a result of the stuff being having a nice attention to detail. You can see over there where we got like a little solder ball sticking out from the side of the chip. You're not going to see that on a board when we're done with it. We don't treat our customers like that. Okay. Now, one of the first things you may notice that needs to be worked on here, before we do much of anything else, is the pad over there. That has to be knifed away, because it's all red. Even if that did work after reflow, I would never trust it. because you could see even before I removed the chip that there was going to be some serious corrosion over there. Now, I'm soldering on top of corrosion there, so I'm not going to keep that. That's going to have to be adjusted. And that's going to have to be wiped. So after that, now one of the things I said in one of the older streams is that the desoldering wick is actually very useful as kind of like a nail filer or sandpaper. So now that I've gone over that, I'm not just going to remove the old solder. The cool thing about this is that it actually allows me to really scrub down to the pad and get rid of any dirt that may have been on top. Now I don't want to scrub too hard because I don't want to ruin those traces. There's no real need to expose traces that are going to working fine pads. I just want to give the board a nice clean finish to it before we get started on replacing chips and soldering everything else to it. You want to work with a nice clean canvas. And that's what this gets you. So it's one thing to put solder on. I'm just doing that to make this solder easier to remove. The thing is, putting that solder on there, I mean, putting this like this, it's going to make sure that I didn't put solder on top of corrosion. Okay, now this is ready for all that junk to be replaced, and it's going to look so much better. Are you sleeping? Oh, you're not sleeping. Interesting. Have I just forgotten how to use the micro pencil tip or something? Yeah, I think the tip of this, I need to find the tip cleaner. Okay, and now for the fun part. Everything that's not perfectly in place will be in place soon. You'll see. Nipping at your nose, Yuletide something on a fire. People dressed up like Eskimos, and everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright, unless you're the turkey. Tots da-da-da, your eyes all aglow. You'll find it hard to sleep tonight, 'cause they know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of ISL 9240s on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna smile in the hope that Apple stock doesn't learn how to fly. And everybody knows some turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright, unless you're the turkey. Its eyes all aglow, finds it hard to sleep tonight, 'cause they know that Santa's on his way. He's got lots of SMCs with programming on his sleigh. and every mother's child. Da-da-da-da. To see if Nitrocaster and DOS Dude can hack the T2 chip. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. These are a few of my favorite. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when Tim Cook's got you feeling sad. I just remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Do 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 do. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, then I remember my favorite things, and I don't feel so bad. Thank you to Rawls RSC for the $2. When the dog bites, when my PPVin S5 high-side computing iSense trace blows, when I'm feeling sad. I just remember I've got an X-Acto to scrape to the trace, and I don't feel so bad. Until I realize it's not there even when I dig. Fuckity fuck fuck fuckity fuck fuck fuckity fuck fuck. That's probably ground under there that you're scraping, you dumb shit. Stop it. When the bee says, let's see if that... Yes, that is fucking ground. That whole thing is ground. Why is your main sorted to ground? You're supposed to be a pee-pee bus. Just a pee-pee bus. Just a pee-pee bus. You're not a pee-pee bus. Why is there no pee-pee bus? There's no pee-pee bus. There's no pee-pee bus. Oh, there's no pee-pee bus. No pee-pee bus. Oh, there's no pee-pee bus. No pee-pee bus. Oh, there's no pee-pee bus. Pee-pee bus. Pee-pee bus. Why no pee-pee bus? Oh, that's so lame. When the bee strikes, when the dog barks, when your pee-pee bus is gone, I just remember my trace is still there, and then I don't feel so bad. I'm an awesome singer, aren't I? Maybe not, but at least I can find the PPVin S5 high-side computing iSense. Yes! Alright, are you shorted to ground, you little motherfucker? When the ground bites, when the solder mask comes off, when your board's feeling shorted, I just remember my green conformal coating from store.rossmangroup.com, and then I don't feel so bad. You can get conformal coding from my store. Do 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 do. My shroud that's not shorted to ground. PPVin S5 high side computing still there. Take a look at my board. I still have my Pharrell. Right over here I can run a wire. Just because it looks like it's shorted to ground doesn't mean that I can't get around it. When the ground strikes, when Pulse software doesn't work, when Australians make me feelin' sad, I just remember that my board's fixable, and then I don't feel so bad. Alright. I'm feeling sad. I just remember my favorite things. And then I don't feel so bad. Jingle bells, Batman smells away. Oh fuck me, I just covered what I'm not supposed to. God damn it, that's my pro point. Get off my pro point, you schmucky, crappy green shit. What the fuck, why you on my probe? Off my probe, you green shit. Dun, 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 dun. What the fuck, why can't I target it? Dun, 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 dun. Alright. When the bee stings, when something, when I'm feeling sad, I just remember that my store sells green conformal coat, and then I don't feel so bad. Like gauze nipping at your nose. Da 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 da. Your eyes all aglow. You'll find it hard to sleep tonight, 'cause they know store.raw. Springroup.com's on his way. Got lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. Powered by Fang with a Sabaton 72150 sine wave controller instead of the piece of shit stock one that kills the stators. And every mother's child, da-da-da-da, to learn that Bafangs really know how to fly at 19.9 miles per hour because de Blasio and Cuomo are cons. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. 'Cause they know. De Blasio's on his way. He's loaded lots of communism on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna cry when he gets elected, even though they didn't vote in the election. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. And everyone. Da 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 da. You know what? The fiber can stay there. Gonna clean my tip like Eric Schneiderman, 'cause a clean tip really knows how to fly. So let's clean my soldering iron tip, but more consensually than Eric Schneiderman. Sound. That little jumper's gonna get flown into place once they put the rest of the stuff in that area back where it goes. You'll see. That's why I added the flux there. It's gonna get made nice. Tim Cook, the Savior is born. Son of a fucking bitch. Son of a fucking bitch. Where'd the resistor go? Where'd the resistor go? Fucking resistor. Resistor flew away. My resistor flew away. Paul Daniels, do you think that's actually going to happen? Because Microsoft fired a hell of a lot of their team that was working on Windows. Not fired, they laid off a lot of it. Which makes me wonder if there's even going to be anything after Windows 10. How long has Windows 10 been out for at this point? It's been a long time. I think there's a good chance that Microsoft is just done with consumer shit. This board's gonna have a brain when we're done with it. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. John, that's the thing though. They have different builds of it, but it's never really a revolution over the last one. Not to say that Windows is ever really revolutionary. But you can tell the difference between XP, Vista, 8, 10 in this visceral way that you just can't with different builds of Windows 10 immediately. So all the work that we did was from here to here. So we did work on this section over here, and then this over here, just to give you an idea of how small that is. So all those little resistors we replaced with that square chip, the rectangle chip and the resistors we replaced is literally just that. And then the square chip where I ran the wire is this. And then just to give you an even better idea, this is the size of my hand. So, just to bring that more into context for you. This is the size of my hand. This is the size of the first area that we worked on. This is the size of the second area that we worked on. Now we're going to see if this machine has a brain. Now, even before I plug in the screen and any of that, obviously I need to do that to make sure that GPU is working, image is working, CPU is working. But a quick way to get an idea of what's going on here, let's just see how many amps it's using. Because obviously, if it's using the same 200 milliamps, then we still have the same problem of the machine not having a brain. Now, as you can see here, the machine is taking 1.6 to 1.7 amps. That may seem high for you, but that's actually kind of standard for this machine. It has a powerful discrete GPU, as well as a quad-core processor rather than the dual-core Ultrabook class processors in the other machines that I typically fix. So I expect it to take that. If a MacBook Air, an A1502, A1706, anything like that was taking that many amps, I'd be worried. But this is about 4 years old in terms of CPU and GPU, nanometer count or whatever, nanometer size of the CPU and all that. And it's also a quad core with a GPU. So it's taking 1.3 amps, which makes me fairly confident that the RAM voltage is present and that this is also working. But just in case there's anything funny, let's see what it gives us with the screen. First thing I'm going to do is just clean the desk here because I don't want to put the customer hardware on top of a filthy desk. We have somebody here who actually cleans all these computers with some screen cleaning spray and a microfiber cleaning cloth, but still. The cleaning person will have less to do and less chance of missing dirt if I just don't get dirt on the computer to begin with. So let's see if this thing is turning on the screen at all. Switch the multimeter to volts mode. And let's see what I get on the screen. Okay, it looks like we're still brain dead. Yep, brain dead, nothing on the screen. So let's take a look at that power rail that chip was supposed to be creating and see if we're actually creating it now. So the chip that was corroded was U7400. And U7400 is going to be responsible for, it appears to be two different rails. The first is going to be DDR VTT and the other is PP1V35, so 1.35 volts. And it's also going to shoot out, where's the pin that's going to shoot out the rest? Vildoin, not to be confused with Dildoin over there. Okay, PPVTT SODDR. Let's see, where can we measure that? Has any nice large coil we can measure that on or something, or just tiny shit? Okay, it looks like that can be measured up here. So it looks like DDR, PPVTT SODDR is 0.34 volts. Actually, not sure what that is supposed to be. So let's look that up and see if the schematic will tell us what that's supposed to be. Next. 0.675 is what that's supposed to be. So that's supposed to be 0.675 volts. The RAM's supposed to be 0.675. And I'm only getting 0.34. So that's going to have to get looked at. Now this chip is powered by PP5ES3. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to check is the other rail this creates. PP1V35_S3. And that's going to be over there. Excuse me. Okay, so the 1.35 volts it's creating just fine. It's DDR VTT that it's not creating properly. So let's see. How is DDR VTT created? PPVTT SODDR. It just shoots right out of the chip. There's supposed to be a switch between VTT sense, pin 1 and 3. There's supposed to be some sort of direct connection. What does SM mean? Is there like a BD missing somewhere in there? What does SM mean? I'm guessing that's supposed to be jumpered together. Well, we're going to check that. And C7460, C7462 are also supposed to be on output there. And then there's also supposed to be another capacitor. Right, so those are going to be 2 caps to ground. 1, 2, and you got 3 and 4. So we're just going to go back to the drawing board on a couple of things and see if any of my assumptions that were present when I was running the wires were wrong. Because perhaps I made assumptions that I shouldn't have. Like that there was actually voltage showing up at certain points that were totally corroded and destroyed. So DDR VTT is on pin 3. Now let's see. So firstly, pin 3 is supposed to connect to pin 1. That's interesting. So that connects DDR reg VTT sense this. Now the schematic says that those 2 connect. But I find that hard to believe that they connect because the board view does not. I guess it does over here. XW7460, and then it goes over there, and that goes over there. Okay, so those 2 are actually connected at some point. Interesting. And that's supposed to be a probe point that's all the way up here. But I don't see that. I don't see that existing. It's supposed to be this. That little thing. See? That. There. Well, one thing I imagine, if it is genuinely connected the same way that feedback is to connect it to backlight output, then it should beep, right? Which it does. Okay. Next up. C7460. Okay, that is all the way on the other side of the board that's not corroded. I don't got to worry about that. So C7460, yeah, I don't have to worry about that because that's all the way up at no corrosion land. Same for C7462. Let's see what we have for C7461. Same thing, up in no corrosion land. C7463. Same thing, up in no corrosion land. C7464. Okay, that's near the chip. So could that be bad? Or C7465. Those 2 caps. Either of those could be bad, but those have been soldered on, and I do believe them to be good. So one of the assumptions I made is that PPVin S5 high side computing iSense, whatever the fuck that's called, was present. And perhaps it wasn't. But it is there. So wait, why 12.3? What is PP bus on this computer? 12.3. Is PP bus G3 hot? Low? 12.28. You have a non-functioning SMC. Are you going to take a vacation? You deserve one. No, I actually I don't deserve one, and I have not earned one. I have not hit the goal I need to pay for the new store. So I am not taking a vacation. I'm actually going to be working more over the next 6 months to a year, most likely with no vacation, because I have not performed as well as I'm supposed to. I've not performed well at all, honestly. So we've got a lot of work to do. And that's going to start with fixing this piece of shit right here. So we got to... what have I missed here? Now, I was chasing something. DDR reg V... 1V8. Could it be a bad U7400, or could it be that that rail it just has a short on it? Could it be that it sent 12 volts or 5 volts to my memory? And that killed it. Could it be just not soldered properly? I mean, there's so many possibilities here. Ah, yes, SMC was not working because PP bus was low. So that's, yeah, this isn't shorted. So that's the problem that we have to solve first. So let's look at our SMC area. The SMC looks perfect. Let's look at the ISL 6259. Looks fine. It's a little crusty over there, but, you know. Do we have... What's the... Let's see, what's the data line doing? Is the data lines to the SMC shorted to ground? Okay, so 10 and 11. Let's see what I get there. 0.530, not shorted to ground. 0.530, not shorted to ground. So this needs an SMC on top of its RAM issue. I do wonder what an ultrasonic cleaning would do for this board. You got a lot of corrosion right here by this thing. What is that thing? That's right next to my memory issue. What are you? What are you? What's that probe point? PPV bat G3 hat charger reg. Well, that's for the ISL 6259. And the ISL 6259 is what communicates with the SMC, and the SMC is the thing that's not working. Interesting. So perhaps this corrosion shocked my SMC, I mean my ISL, and my ISL is speaking to my SMC and saying something that makes it angry. It's always possible. Is there anything I missed over here? .35. What are the chances that the RAM is dead and that this is actually wrong and that's not 0.6 volts, but rather it's supposed to be 0.35? So what is our PP bus? Still low? Still 12.28. I'll give the SMC a reflow, the ISL a replace since there was corrosion around something related to it. I'll give this one last look under the microscope actually before I do that. After that's done, then we gotta probably replace the SMC. Also, crud under the SMC could actually keep this from finishing the boot process. But there was nothing to give me a reason that there was corrosion near there. That's what gives me agita about replacing it. Let's see if it's an SMC issue. I'm inclined to think ISL because there was corrosion by something that goes to the ISL 6259, which speaks to the SMC, which would set PP bus low. But I'm also inclined to think it's the SMC because that's the only thing that would make sense with regards to boot sequence not completing. No. Oh man. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Might as well kill two birds with one stone. Let's go over that ISL 6259 and remove it. That was a Sanford and Son truck that I was humming. Uh-oh. There. That's too much solder on the center pad even from my silliness. This tip really sucks. This micro pencil tip is not working, and I use tip cleaner on it too. Like, look, it's repelling solder. This is awful. Watch. See, I'm going to clean the tip. It's going to have nothing on it. There we go. My solder refuses to stick to it. It's aggravating. Fine, I'll use main tip, even though this is clearly not meant for this. Rapid cool technology. PP bus is still low. I know that pin could be soldered nicer, but that's not what's causing it. Let's see. Data line is... Why is my SMC data line stuck at 0.1 volts? What the fuck? And you're not sure it's a ground, but you're stuck at 0.1 volts? Really now? 0.1. Yeah, that's fucked up. 0.1. Okay. The SMC is bad or the pull-ups are shorted? My guess is that the SMC is bad because the data line there is stuck at 0.1 for both of them, not one. So let's see if there's anything that those two data lines have in common. Let's see. What do those two data lines have in common? Because that's a 3.42 volt data line right here, right? See this? SMC. Yeah. So I just got some flux in my mouse. Just cleaned it off. All right, so see this is a 3.42 volt data line. I'll show you how we know. So if we search through the schematic using the Paul effing Daniels software, PP3V42_G3 hot is pulling this up to 3.4. So I should see pulsing at the very least, even if it's not 3.4, because it's going to be talking. It should be 1.5 or 1.8 or going back and forth between 3.4 and 0, and it's not doing that. It's just stuck. Now, we have to do is we have to see where else this data line shows up. So let's see. So that data line is going to go to a diode called D7050, which I replaced this. Shit. Did I solder that diode properly? That's one thing to check out. All right, that board is actually damaged over there. So we have this resistor. That's a pull-up resistor. What if that's not making its way through? R5380 and R5381. Now let's see what they are up here. I have a feeling, actually, that R5380 and R5381, this resistor and that resistor, I bet that I'm actually getting 3.42 volts if I measure on those resistors up there, but it's not making its way to the other side of the machine. I think that we may actually have some issues where there are traces inside the board that are broken. Let's see if that's what's going on here. Yep, 3.43 up here. 3.43 up here. But then when we go to the ISL 6259, where that's supposed to be communicating, we get 0.15 and 0.15. So this board actually has some issues inside of it. Yeah, this board actually has stuff broken on the inside of it. And now let's see, is it at the diode where this is happening? Because the thing is that brain deadness of the board may actually be something that's unfixable. Because if there's points going in between the board that are not attached for this, it may be much worse. So our issue is that this was just a red herring here. Was that PP bus G3 hot was 12.23 volts instead of 12.56. That's this chip up here. This chip, the battery charger, needs to communicate with the SMC before this chip, the battery charger, creates 12.56 volts rather than 12.23. And this data line over here that speaks with it, it's 0.1 volts over there, but it's 3.42 volts over here. So now the middle section is where everything was corroded to shit, right? Well, let's see what we're getting over there in the middle section. So these are the two SMC data lines parts. And 3.43 here. Let's see. Okay, we get 3.43 here and 0.15 here. And here we go. Look at that. 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 We got broken probe points. Broken probe points. All right. Now, there may be broken probe points that I missed by the memory. So first, let's get this thing back to 12.56 volts. I'm going to just grab my X-Acto knife blade over here. Look at that. See that? That was a good one. Yeah, see that? I'm just going to reattach these 2 points. And then I'm going to go hunting, because I bet if I look really closely, there's more probe points related to the memory over here that are not soldered on. Okay, so first let's clean that. This is a fun find. I just reflowed the SMC like an idiot. But granted, the reason that I reflowed the SMC to defend my thinking is it wasn't simply a PP bus issue where the data line wasn't working. We also have an issue with booting where it has no brain, and the SMC is a part of that boot sequence, which is why I had concerns for it. But that didn't wind up being the issue, so, you know. Either way, let's reattach these two just so that we have at least, you know, that part will be properly done. So this way the machine will at least be able to see a battery as it sits there brain dead. It's really important that your brain dead machine be able to turn on with a battery. Alright, we're just going to redo these traces. Scraped a little, put some solder on them. Hopefully that makes all the Europeans and Australians watching happy. I said solder. And do this. See? Going to attach a wire. I'm going to need you guys in Twitch and YouTube chat to help me find the probe point that I missed. Because there's going to be a probe point around here that's dead related to the memory, and that's going to be why it's not booting. There's going to be some probe point around here that's also corroded. And I'm going to need a lot of help from all of you in finding it. Because once I find it, this machine won't be brain dead anymore. But it's somewhere down here. Is it you? Is it you? Alright, well, let's see if we at least fixed our 12.23 volt problem. Right now, when I turn it on, I should be getting 12.56 volts. $12.24. Very interesting, actually. $1.55, 3.43, 1.35. Okay, what the fuck is up with that? Let's go back up here. 3.43, 3.43. Okay, WT fucking fuck. Those are literally reattached wires. Okay, is it over here where it's not fully going through? $1.4, 3.3. Okay, so there's something being lost between here and the SMC. So that line over to that resistor. Wow, so this burns inside the board here. That burn is not just in that wire. That's actually a burn inside the board. So this point over here is disconnected. So at first, the point between the wire between here and here, like this probe point, disconnected. These two probe points disconnected. However, it's not just that. That from the diode all the way over here is disconnected. So that's going to have to be reconnected with a wire. Jeez. Okay. $12.56 time. Now here's the part that's really fucked up. That was a trace that did not actually have any damage between the diode and the SMC. So what that means is that this board is so far damaged that there are traces inside of the actual motherboard that I can't see that are broken. Now, this is actually where having the money for something like a Nordson 3D X-ray machine would come in handy, because I can use my brain to some extent to give you an idea of where the problem is. So I didn't need to even see that that trace was broken in order to know that it wasn't communicating. Even though I didn't have a short and I had 3.42 volts in the data line by the SMC, I knew to check for it over there because I understood how this circuit worked. But when we start getting into why the machine is brain dead, that's far too open-ended. It's not a very simple, this little thing talks to that little thing kind of problem. And a Nordson 3D X-ray machine would actually be able to show me inside of the board what is broken so that I could fix it. So think of it kind of like a Neuralink, and a Nordson 3D X-ray machine. 3D X-ray machine would be kind of like my brain, but on steroids. The problem is that machine's about $120,000, and I have failed so badly in business and in life that I can barely even afford to move into a new store with even floors, to the point where my air conditioner is gonna, there's gonna be an air conditioner that's on a Fox wall that not even there anymore because I suck. So unfortunately, that is out of the budget. But this is one of the reasons that I stay at work late. This is one of the reasons that I think about how can my business expand, what new services can I offer. This is why it's really exciting to not just do normal data recovery, but also heads swap level data recovery, doing videos on it, more marketing, more advertising. Because if I was actually on my game, and if I was a real business owner, like a real business owner, not a fake-ass business owner, I would be able to go, oh, that's something that could help my business? Oh, my business is based on board repair, and that machine would take us to the next level? Let's just grab it. But I'm not. So when people think, you deserve to take a vacation, you deserve time off, you earn this, that, and the other, I haven't really earned jack shit. I've actually quite underperformed, given that there are companies like Asset Genie or, several other companies out there that exist, that if they wanted something like that, they just, pick up the phone and have the resources to be able to get it. Because I can't even get a loan to fucking renovate a store I'm moving into after 11 years. But it's important to be honest with yourself about where you are. I try not to beat myself up. I don't beat myself up. I don't sit in a room all sad and depressed all day. But I'm not going to lie to myself and tell myself that I'm worth things that I'm not worth, or that I've earned things that I haven't earned, or that I'm good at something when I'm actually, or when I have failed in some respects. Because it would be really cool to just put this thing in there and have a known good 820-00426 and this one, and just have it literally pop up and show all the bond wires, and then we could overlay it, see what the differences are between the two, and then just run the single jumper wire that's necessary to make this work again. And there's a lot of jumper wires that you can figure out by using your brain, but there's that last 5 to 10% that you can't do that the machine probably could. Whoa, 5 volts on screen? 5 volts on screen? Fuck Nordson! Ha! Who needs a Neuralink, motherfucker? Oh! Question mark folder. Question mark. Fuck, that is awesome. Suck my dick, Nordson 3D X-ray machine. Man, I actually kind of felt sorry for myself there a little bit. I actually felt a little bit sorry for myself. 11 years in business, and I'm such a fucking fuck-up that I can't buy one fucking tool that would help my business and make life easier for everybody here, take us to the next level, allow us to learn more, allow us to do more educational videos. Because if we could actually figure out the traces, if we could figure out the ones that we're not able to now, we would actually be able to learn something like, oh, when you have this problem, it's that trace. And then we could figure out why, and then we could really reverse engineer around it. But I don't need that, because I got my fucking brain! Yeah! Fuck you, Chase Bank! I don't need your fucking money to open my new store. Suck my dick. Yeah, this is awesome. I don't need no goddamn bank loan. I got a question mark folder. It only took me 4 hours and 47 minutes to fix a computer that's 4 years old. But still, accomplishment. I'm going to look back on this stream and I'm going to be very aggravated that I ever did it, but there's one other thing I want to check now that I know it works. What is DDR? What is that VTT voltage supposed to be? Is it supposed to be 6 volts? Is the schematic wrong? Let's see. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, can I measure on the top of the board? I got X-ray vision with my fucking eyeballs. That's that. I don't need no X-ray machine. I don't know. That just gave me a jolt. Oh, that feels good. The dopamine rush of figuring out a fucked up board like this. Yeah, what the fuck? It's supposed to be 0.34 volts. Fuck you, Apple! Oh, that is so fucked up. I was chasing that issue for like 30 fucking minutes because of the shitty documentation here. It's 0.34 volts. But when you look on the schematic clearly states on the power aliases page that is supposed to be 0.675 volts. 0.675 volts. And it's 0.35 volts and it works. Why? Why does your documentation have to suck? It's just like these new machines where it says, oh my god, this is annoying. This is so aggravating. It's like when it says 18 volts input where it's supposed to be 12 or 8. This is like where they say ISL 6259 in the new machines when it's supposed to be ISL 9239 or ISL 9240. Like that is... I wasted a half a fucking hour at 2:30 in the morning because of Apple's shit documentation. Why is Right to Repair even argue? Why are we even advocating to get access to these original schematics? They suck. Somebody else should write up a proper one. They don't even know what voltage their own fucking power rails are in this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, this board review software is kidding me too. This drunk Paul Daniels software opening up in this funky orientation. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this dumbass shit. This is the board view and schematic for an 820-00239. Duh, we still use the ISO 6259. No, you don't. You use ISO 9239. Correct your fucking data sheets. Look at this. Look at this. ISL 6259. You click to the next page. It says ISL 9239. But you click back over there, and it says ISL 6259. But you click here, and it says ISL 9239. But you click there, and it's ISL 9259. But you click here, and it's ISL 9239. Why? You lazy-ass Apple engineers. Document your fucking machines properly so that I can go home in time. That felt good. That felt good, though. I really started feeling sorry for myself. I'm a failed business owner. Can't figure out jack shit. Can't fix the boards. Can't even afford a single fucking machine that would make my life a lot easier after 11 years. Because I suck at business. That much. I don't need your money, Chase Bank. 'Cause I got my brain. That's it for today, everybody. And as always, I hope you learned something.